Welcome back to Fantastic Feast. I'm your host, Phan. Before the break, we got to make some Penang curry that was super delicious and very tasty. And in this segment, I am going to show you how to make cream puffs. First, this right here is a sifter, 1 cup. And this just aerates the flour and just makes it not so clumpy. Next, we'll make the egg wash, and this is something that you brush on top of the chew pastry so it has a nice sheen at the end. And it takes 2 tablespoons of milk. Put that here. And then also 1 egg yolk. Just mix this together. Okay, and your egg wash is ready. Okay, so now we'll bring this over to the stove and I'll show you how to make the chew pastry. Super simple. To this you will add 1 cup of water, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, then also your stick of butter. So once that has dissolved and melted together, you'll add your 1 cup of flour that you've sifted. And then from there you will vigorously mix it so that it's well incorporated and it turns into a smooth ball. Put it into a separate bowl. What you do now is you let this cool for at least 5 minutes, but let it get to room temperature. Then you add 1 egg at a time to this, and that becomes your chew pastry. So that's the consistency you're looking for. How easy is that? Crazy, right? Now that our chew pastry has cooled down to at least room temperature or at least 5 to 10 minutes, we'll add the eggs 1 at a time. And you just mix it. Halfway through. Just a little elbow grease and make sure you're mixing it well. Okay, our last egg. This is a workout. Okay. That was a workout. Okay, so there it goes. This is your chew pastry with your eggs incorporated. And what we'll do next is put it into a pastry bag, or what I like to use is the Ziploc bag because it's disposable, no cleanup. And then we'll start piping them. So this is a gallon Ziploc bag. Makes life a lot easier. And then I have a coupler. This you can get at any craft store or online. It's a very basic cake decorating tool, but it works really well. And then you snip it. Okay, and then this attaches on the outside. Okay, so here, you add the dough in here. Just want to get the air bubbles out. You want to seal it or else all your dough is going to come out. Okay. And this is your pastry bag. I have my baking sheet and I put some parchment paper on. And you can make these as big or as small as you want. I actually like them smaller so they're kind of like bite-sized. Do is brush them with the egg wash on top. Okay, and then into the oven this goes for about 30 minutes, so just watch them to make sure that they don't brown too much. So now that the cream puffs are in the oven, we have about 30 minutes before they're ready. So in the meantime, we'll cut the strawberries and then we'll also make the cream. And the way to cut it is you just cut off the hole and then just slice it. And these cream puffs, actually, you could just eat them with the cream itself, but I saw these strawberries at the market and they were just too pretty not to buy. And so I think strawberries are always a welcome addition to any dessert. So to make this cream, you need 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. And you start medium. To this I'll add a 1/4 cup of confectioner's sugar and also a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And you just let it whip up until it's nice and thick and fluffy. Okay, so this is about the consistency that we're looking for. So now we have another piping bag for the whipped cream. You could also do it where you just put it onto the actual cream puff, but I like the control you have in the piping bag. So it's the same method. Your coupler. You can also put a tip on this so that it has designs and so forth, but I'm okay with it as is. Flip it inside out. Is your piping bag. Make sure to close it. And release the air bubbles. Okay, here we go. Here is our cream puff. So I lied about them being bite-sized. At the end, I decided to add a little bit of extra pastry dough to each one. So they're nice size now. But these are better for stuffing, but look how perfectly cute they are. They smell amazing. And so, okay, you want to let these cool down before you pipe. These out of the way. Wow, so good. Okay, anyway, so you want to let them cool, cut them in half, and then we'll pipe them. But because they're too hot right now to pipe, I made an earlier batch that's already cooled, but the only difference is they are a little bit smaller and you'll be able to tell. However, it's the same recipe, but I was not as heavy-handed with my my dough, so these are the same exact thing, a little bit smaller. Okay, now we have our pastry bags and we'll start to fill them. We'll fill the bottom. And this is best obviously done right before you're about to serve it so it doesn't get soggy, but and obviously you could add more cream if you like. I'm not adding too much cream so that it's not overloaded. And then strawberry. Put the hats back on. Okay, so now we'll dust them with powdered sugar and that's the final touch to it. It's like magic fairy dust here. Ah, it's raining sugar. Best thing ever. How cute is this? They look like gnomes or the little garden thingies. But all right. Okay, and I have this beautiful little cake stand. These are little joys and victories. And I think part of it is presentation as well. Yeah, you serve this like this, it looks a little bit more fancy. Oh, perfect. One left over for me to eat. Okay. Ta-da! Okay, so here we have our cream puffs with strawberry. It's everything you can think of, or everything that I think of when I think of a beautiful summer dessert. And so let's give this one a try. Okay, sorry, my hands are all sticky, full of powdered sugar and cream, but it's the markings of sugar war. You didn't see that. Oh, that's so good. That's perfect. That is a good cream puff. And there you have it. This is our cream puffs with fresh whipped cream and strawberries. It speaks so much of summer and a simple dessert, and I just love the way it looks, and the presentation is something that you could put out and make everybody think that you're a professional baker. We want to thank you for joining us here on Phantastic Feast. If you have any questions or comments or any suggestions on what we should make next, go ahead and email me at fantasticfeast@gmail.com. Until next time, thanks for joining us.